Boom, boom. What's going on, y'all? I'm Dre like the doctor.
BBD.
And you're now watching No Gatekeeping Podcast. We have two amazing, talented, super duper, astronomical, all kind of words. Amazing women here for our new season. This is going to be a very interesting episode. We got some games in store. We got some activities happening with the ladies of HuCapital.
HuCapital.
Okay, yeah. I like that. Put that on the track. I was gonna say, put that on the track. Okay.
Y'all Bob.
So before we dive into the business aspects and, you know, all the accolades and pivots and all of that corporate stuff, tell us about yourselves. Who are you? What you represent? All of that.
Okay. Well, non-businessy. I'm Juju. Real name is Jaleesa, but literally nobody calls me that. I'm from the Bronx, born and raised. I may live in Brooklyn right now, but we do not claim Brooklyn. But we do reside there. And honestly, I don't know what to say about myself. Like, I'm just a regular, everyday girl who's just trying to, you know, do some dope things. I'm just happy to represent the Bronx. That's it.
Hey, big up. Well, my name is Magic. No nickname. That my real name is Magic. I too am from the Bronx. Big up uptown. Grew up in Emo Projects. Lived in Parkchester. And yeah, I'm just all about having fun, good vibes, meeting new people. Super extroverted. I've always been into like dancing, stepping, performing arts, and people always say Magic is the perfect name for me because it literally embodies who I am as a person. So yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah, she's a good dancer. Like, I sing and I songwrite low key, but please, if you ever see me, please don't ever ask me to sing for you. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves. And first of all, I could dance choreographed. Thank you very much. That's my biggest hater, by the way. That's my biggest hater, by the way.
Okay. So how'd y'all meet? How did y'all two meet?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. Absolutely not. Okay.
Story?
I'm gonna let her lie first.
Wow, lie is crazy.
It's always two sides of a story.
Listen,
so I'm gonna tell y'all the real story. She's gonna tell y'all the fake story.
Paint us the picture.
So we met. We went to high school together. Shout out Dewey Clinton for train.
Okay.
And I was always involved on the step team in high school. And you know, one day she came up to me like, "Oh my God, like you're so pretty, like you're so beautiful, like." I really don't have like that many friends, like, you know, and I would love, you know, for us to like hang out. And I was like, damn, bro, you feeling like, can you back up a little bit? But then you know how they say persistence beats resistance. She was just always on me like a little roach, so I just started to be her friend. And now it's my sister.
Oh, I love it.
And go tell the lied version that she made up.
Now, before I even speak,
okay,
she literally squeezed in there. She had no friends. Y'all believe that? Y'all really believe
Is it unbelievable
that I had no friends?
Nah, I don't believe that.
All right, then. So anyway,
the
the actual answer is yes. We went to Clinton High School. We met there, and honestly, I think we just got cool because we similar personalities. Yeah. We're a vibe. We're both really friendly. We both have friends. And honestly, I think I might have too many at that. I'm very grateful for it though.
Right.
But yeah, honestly, you know, we were really cool. We were in like the same like gifted program. And then I ended up leaving Boston Road and moving over to Castle Hill. My second semester, I guess.
Yeah, I think like sophomore year.
Yeah, no, freshman year. Second semester, freshman year. And I needed like a bus buddy. And luckily, Castle Hill's bus flows into Parkchester.
That's 22. Shout out to 22.
And then we locked it in. Yes. And we was cool ever since then.
100%. 14.
Not the schoolie. That's crazy. In high school, no. The public bus. MTA.
I could tell Donnie is as confused about the stuff as me, because what kind of high school experience? We both went to Catholic schools. My whole brawlum started. I went to Cardinal Hayes.
Oh, okay.
I had to go across the bridge, but we had trimesters. And then you was talking about a bus. Like, y'all had to take a specific bus to get
the MTA or the train to get to school. 100%.
Oh, because I'm thinking you like, now that I'm in this new other place.
Oh yeah, because I mean, there's Boston Road. How you get to Clinton from Boston Road is a whole different situation than going from Castle Hill to Clinton.
Yeah, and then there's so many ways that you can get to Clinton. You can take the 4 train, you can take the 1 or the 2, you can take the 2 train to like Gun Hill, and if you really in the mood to walk up the hill, Montefiore, like you can get there a few different ways.
Y'all Bronx for real.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying?
I'm like, yo.
That way. Yeah. Long story short, I moved from uptown to something that's not uptown. Right. So how I get to school is very different. Yes. And she being a friend that I already had and living in a similar area, it definitely made the commute a lot better. So,
yeah,
grateful for you.
And we just did, honestly, like, damn near everything together. And
pretty much.
So wait. So y'all stayed together through high school, and then what happened after high school? Y'all still stayed together?
Yes and no. So we went to different colleges. So she went to SUNY Albany. I went to SUNY Oswego. Shout out Upstate SUNY system. And we would still like keep in touch. Like I would visit her college, and I would hate going up there because every time I went to Albany, the party was always canceled, and I'd be so mad. Like usual, I'm not coming back up here.
And she would still come back.
I would, and then she would come visit me and go tell your rendition.
Yeah, I feel so bad for saying this. And for anybody who went to SUNY Oswego, who's hearing me right
Not
now,
too much.
I am so sorry, but I don't know what's in the air at that school. It is so gloomy out there. Like I always say, if I went to SUNY Oswego, I'll probably be a crackhead. Like I kind of feel like I'm not really sure what else there is to do other than school in SUNY Oswego.
I will say Oswego is a very small town, predominantly white institution.
That's exactly how it was
It
with
definitely was a
Delhi.
smaller school.
I
We
wouldn't
didn't have
say
as
anything about
much
Delhi.
going on as Albany did, but we still had a good time.
They did.
Thank you.
She's in a dance club, but not dance club.
I danced, I stepped,
Yeah.
I hosted shows. I was voted most popular freshman my freshman year. I was queen of comedy, turn queen. I've always been super outgoing, super involved. Want to be in everything. I was on the swim team at one point in high school for a
She
little
probably
bit.
was born like this. What's up, y'all?
No,
what's that?
24
Slid out like
this.
Yeah, for me, mine was more artistic in high school. Like I was always the choir girl. We was on the broadcasting committee. I kind of dragged her into it.
Because I'm happy.
We did sing that song too, actually. So I would sing. I'll do a little bit of that. But college for me, fun fact, I actually stopped singing when I got to college. Like literally from elementary school to high school, I was always singing in choirs or performances. But when I got to college, I just kind of felt like college makes you feel like you have to choose because you have all of this intense work. I was a bio major for context, and I was a business and Africana studies minor. So I was doing a lot, and you kind of have to choose. Do you want to be on the really artsy side? Do you want to be on the more informational, I don't even call it this, a professional side. Right. And if you're someone who can do it all and have good grades, shout out to you. But I felt like I had to choose. So mine was not as fun and artsy, but I had a good time because I was in student government. I became student government president. I was no,
you wasn't just student government president. You were the what?
I was the first Black woman to become student government president at SUNY Albany. And I was the second woman to become SGA president. And they almost thought I was the first. I had to go back to the history books and realize that 17 years before me, there was one other woman.
Damn.
Yeah, sometimes
they forgot 17. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
thinking I had to go back to
100 years. Yeah, I guess she was a better
Sometimes like to play humble, so I be having to remind her, you were the...
She got that. She ate that. She did.
You were the...
She did. But I did a little bit of that. And yeah, college was great to me, but yeah, I didn't get to do all the artsy stuff.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, and then I was a student leader at a certain point. So I was for the African Student Organization. Shout out to them. So I was vice president at a point. I was doing public relations. So that was actually my first start of graphic design and making flyers. Now don't ask me to make flyers. I'm not that great at it, but literally it's so funny because that is what kind of got me to our first business that we were doing together, because she initially had me making the flyers and stuff.
Yep.
Donnie, why you call this? I don't want the camera to see me.
I'm sorry. I'm just locked in. Your story is fire. So wait. See, you're in same high school.
Yep.
Different colleges now.
Yep.
Doing your thing. You spreading your juju. You got your 24 karat magic over here.
Oh.
Yeah, doing your thing. Then y'all came back. How did y'all come back?
Before that,
okay.
I wanted to know. We're gonna get back to how y'all reconvened and connected. But what I wanted to know is, and during these times that y'all were in, I feel like I might just keep moving. When y'all were in college doing these things, were y'all set in your minds intentionally to become the first woman of the
definitely not
all of these things, right? So what got you? Did that just have free time? Because when I was in college, most I did was BSU.
That's still important though. That's
for sure. But I when I say did, I mean go to the event.
Got it. Okay.
Organizing.
That's still important too, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. We go. Yeah.
I mean,
you go first.
Yeah. Well, we'll start with your question. I will say that in life, when you choose to be involved in multiple things, something is gonna take a hit.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that took a hit, I don't even think I slept that much in college. Like,
Wow.
I remember living off of, like, I think it was called Nose. Like, not even a Red Bull, some other different type of energy drink. And it's like, that was from freshman year. Listen, some other shit. Like, literally from freshman year to senior year, energy drinks. That's where the extra time came from. But I'll also add this. I feel like what people don't talk enough about is you don't always do something because you made a plan to do it. Sometimes just you being who you are, you're going to start attracting people. Mm-hmm. Yep. And when you attract people who are genuine, who care about whoever it is that they're getting involved with, they'll start telling you, listen, you are ABC kind of person.
I think you should do that.
Exactly. So what ended up happening is I got there and I had peers who were like, yo, you a sophomore? I'm like, you know this guy here, right? But they felt like the way I carried myself on campus, it gave leadership. It gave bright, it gave friendly, it gave welcoming. So they said student government. Then they said do the pre-med club. And they said do all these different things. I feel like for me, it was never a plan. You don't walk into that space saying I'm gonna dominate. But I do think that after my first semester, I think there were very key people who kind of saw what I was doing and let me know immediately, I don't know what you have in mind for yourself.
But you're a dominant.
But you about to like conquer this school. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be. Some people literally did tell me they thought it was gonna be student government president, but obviously there has never been a woman before, so they're like, But a guy who was SGA president at that time, he looked at me and said, yeah, you're gonna be in my seat one day. And I was like, well, shit, I guess I am. Why not? But yeah, that's how I kind of got into all of that.
Yeah, and like very similar story. Like I went to school and I knew that I at least wanted to like dance because I've always been a dancer, always been a performer. But like anything like beyond that, I didn't really think about. And to your point, like when I was a freshman, people are coming up to me and asking me like, I want you to like, you're so funny, you're so this. I want you to host this fashion show. I want you to host this dinner. And back then, like that was a big deal. Like freshmen are not hosting like anything, right? Yeah, I hosted the BSU fashion show alongside an alumni, right? So the alumni came back, and then I, as a freshman host, it was my first time hosting, and that experience really led to me like hosting, talking on panels, right? Like speaking at events. And then when it came to like being on a student leader, people came up to me and was like, you know what, you should run for director of public relations. And I'm just like, I don't even know how to make a flyer. They like, yeah, we don't care. We'll teach you, but we need you pretty much, right? And same thing with me being part of like the National Association of Black Accountants, right? So all of these different organizations that I became a part of was truly because people saw something in me and was like, nah, like you gonna do that. We need you. You're gonna go far.
Right. Fire.
So wait, did y'all so because y'all was in such like different programs within your college, did that help build your following for your company now? Like, did y'all?
Oh, I can talk about that. You go first.
No, 100%. I feel like that's like one of the first places we always lean back to, right? It's like 100%. Our university, like the friends that we made in college, right? And so, and we're also both like very involved in like alumni relations when it comes to like going back, right? So like we just had alumni color weekend like 2 years ago in Oswego, and like I was part of the committee that like helped plan that, and like just through the relationships that I was able to build with the people that I already knew, plus the alumni that I met like years ago, like definitely have helped, like create a funnel and a pipeline to like HuCapital.
Yeah. I'm happy you asked that question because I don't talk about this enough. But for anybody who went to a SUNY or CUNY school, let's just say SUNY because it's upstate, I think that we always feel like going away when you're in high school looks like I have to be in another state to go away. Yeah. And the only way that I'm going to get value in meeting some people from my town and people from other places is only if I go really far. But at a SUNY school, you do still get to meet people who are from places beyond New York City, places beyond New York State. Right. Obviously, are a good majority of them from New York as a state overall, yes. But what I will say is this about the business part. 105% going to SUNY Albany and just having like this like SUNY network. When I came back to the city after college, at that time, I wasn't throwing networking events. Like, there was no HuCapital, there was no Millennium Vision, a prior startup that we were running. It was me throwing parties. Like, I threw parties my senior year of college. And when I got back, I was like, nah, I still want to make this money, and I still want to bring people together, so I'm going to bring that back to the city with my friend Jarius, and we did that. But the first set of customers for that party in the city were people that we graduated with, people who went to SUNY Albany. So I say that to say that if you're someone who's from the city and you go to a school upstate, don't think that it's less valuable, because whatever you do here, New York City is the epicenter of the world. Everybody is here. And if you have people who are from here that you still ended up going away to and still ended up being friends with at that school that you never would have met here anyway because you're from different boroughs, when you bring a business or some kind of something back to the city, those are going to be your first customers because they spent 4 years with you, or maybe 3 or 2 if they were older than you, and they saw what you're able to do. So when you get back, they got you.
And let me tell you something, that SUNY connection is strong. Regardless of even like what college like you went to, I feel like we see that in certain events that are happening around the city today.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my biggest regret. Like,
Not going to SUNY?
Yeah, I went to University of Bridgeport. Listen, shout out to
I toured there.
Yo,
It is.
shout out to my people from Bridgeport. I fucking hated Bridgeport. Yo,
I went there one time.
yo,
That shit is
Bridgeport.
Yeah,
That's
it looked
gloomy.
good.
That's
It looked
just
good.
gloomy.
I never went
That
there.
shit is gloomy.
I toured that school and it was
That
very
shit's
gloomy.
gloomy.
I'm sorry.
Right.
It was.
Yo, but it was mad funny because I went to your event. Right when I went to your event, I seen mad people from UB there. Like I'm like, yo, which
So that's what I mean when I say the SUNY connection is super strong and super small. Like you go to
you mean Bridgeport UB?
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Not University of Buffalo. And not Buck State.
Sorry.
No,
I was up there.
that's no. I regret not going to a SUNY store. I was in CT, bum ass, Bridgeport, Connecticut. No offense. But y'all niggas need to get y'all shit together.
That's what
Like, literally at the events, like,
real talk, bro.
No offense.
Oh,
Fuck that.
man.
Like,
Better
but
not go
now
back
back to your question. How'd y'all link up, and then what was the original concept?
Right, your first business. Yeah, your first business.
okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll talk to how we got back together.
Yeah.
And then,
Yes.
But
so,
did they ever get back together?
well, yeah, because
never
it was
left,
never a
though.
thing of getting like back together. Because like I said, like we would visit each other like during college and stuff. Juju was always up. Juju was always up late, like she mentioned, and I was not with none of that. Like she would call me 1, 2. I said, "Bro, stop calling me. I'm sleeping." Like, don't get me wrong. I had my nights where I was up late, like drinking coffee. But this girl,
That's on energy drinks up.
this girl
100%.
does not sleep. And she'd be like,
But-
I finally have time to talk to you after I worked my 10 jobs and went to my 10 meetings. I said, bro, good night. Like, I will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, in my defense, disclaimer: bio major, pre-med, business Africana studies minor. I was president, treasurer, all kinds of things for a pre-med club, in student government as a marketing intern, director of marketing, all those things. I worked in the dining hall. I was a
Are you
RA.
Jamaican?
I might be. I had
There you go.
goddamn mad jobs. I had like 3 jobs.
Listen, and I'll give it to you. All
Thank
I'm
you.
saying is back then, I was not,
She was like, go to bed.
I was valuing my sleep. But in terms of like how we connected, I mean, at least when we got back to the city, because at the time we got back, actually, a lot of people don't know, I was living in New Jersey. So I'm from the Bronx, but my sophomore year of college, I moved to Jersey, and I was out there for about like 5 years until we got our first apartment together. And so selfishly, Juju has a bunch of friends, like, as we all do. And as we first graduated college, like she pretty much put all of her friends in one chat so that we can pretty much like know the moves, go to all the parties together and stuff. And I mean, that's one of the main reasons how we got back together as like a group. But shout out to her for doing that, because that group chat is going on 8 years strong.
Yeah,
I think
8 years.
we just
Crazy,
did like we do Secret Santa every year, match pajamas,
Valentine's.
I
Valentine's.
seen the
We do all
black
types of stuff.
pajamas.
Come on.
That Christmas real.
No, yeah.
Yo, I just gotta say this, right? And I gotta look at the camera. Yo, fellas, we gotta do better. Like, like we're not. It's
Like hosting.
Friendsgiving, all that.
like we just gotta do better. Like when I think about how we go to college and how we like take advantage of shit, it just sounds like y'all just took advantage of everything. Like I just went to class and went back home. Like that was
Right,
it.
yeah.
Like, that was
You know,
it.
low key though, I will say I did take advantage of a lot of things, but I think something that I did not take advantage of is like my career services like center. And I think when you go to college, a lot of people will tell you do internships, but you're not really thinking about that. You a freshman, you a sophomore.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't really think about it until like either the end of junior year, senior year, when it's like super late and everything. And I feel like that was one of like my biggest regrets graduating college, because I was a marketing major and I minored in computer science, and I switched to information systems. And I feel like the struggle post college to like find a job, and thank God I was able to find one. But the struggle,
real.
like when I graduated
It's real.
college, I was working in Forever 21 making $9.75 an hour, right?
That's right.
And thankfully, I mean, I think in hindsight, I did wind up getting my first role like 6 months out of college. My first like big girl job was working in tech sales. But I feel like had I really played a bit more chess in college, I would have, winded up like in a different position. But it all works out because I'm here now.
Exactly. That part. Come on now.
And so that's how we got back together. And then how did we, get back into business?
So yeah, into business. So how do I make this short? Okay. Earlier I mentioned that I was throwing parties in college, and then I brought that experience to the city.
Right.
Now, when I threw like this, me and my friend Jerry, we threw this party. It was like an R&B party. And around that time, I think I started, that it was.
Wait, what's the flashbacks?
Look, we having technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah. Let it be me, though.
So that was actually supposed to happen.
Right.
We planned that.
We planned that.
The force of gravity, when you touch...
Wait, actually, you got punked.
I ain't giving up this hand.
But they flipped over it. Well, I guess nobody saw them.
Oh, right. Is it? But you got
shit over here.
I got 7.
I have 8.
Y'all gonna spank me.
Wait, before we start, what's the rules?
That's what everybody want to know. I played.
Can we stack? Let's be
Yeah,
dangerous.
you can do
What?
like a yellow 3, a blue 3. But we're not doing draw 2s on
No. I want that.
No.
Yes. Like if it's a yellow, green, red, if you have a draw 2, we should be able to put that.
No, you can draw 2. You can't put a draw 2 on a draw 4.
Yes.
No, we should do that too. Make it dangerous.
Unless it's the same color. Right, so if you he got a red, he could throw it in. You know what I mean,
even that is questionable, but I'll allow it.
Right.
First of all, shout out to all black people taking Uno and making it their own. Fuck you.
We don't read the box. We all act like so. How you play?
Damn.
All right, you first. Left for the dealer.
Left for the dealer, and then we got to multitask. We got to use both our brains. We got to be strategic as well as continue your story. You were throwing the parties. You came back with Jaharius? What's his name?
Jaharius. Shout out to Jaharius. Actually, real quick comment. I do appreciate what you did, where you was like, hey, to the fellas, like, if you're in school, try to do different things, because maybe you didn't get the chance to.
Yeah.
But funny enough, if you see a gentleman who's, like, actively doing things on campus, like, try to catch a vibe with that person, because you don't know what that person can encourage you to do. Because if it wasn't for Jaharius, and if it wasn't for another guy named Francis, all of those things about student government president, etc., I don't know how likely that would have been a thing, because the moment they saw me do my thing, they were like, nah, like, you're it. Like, I would have never thought as, like, a young college girl that I would be the person, like, throwing a party. Like, the girls promoted the guys' parties. They weren't the ones throwing those parties. And they were like, no, but you're you. Like, people come to 100%. Like, people come to parties for you. If you put your name on it and it's actually yours and you make all the money from it, that you can do that.
Right.
And I did that. And I was like, yo, y'all really ate with that. Like, okay. So if you find that gentleman on campus, lock in with them, because they might put you on the way Jaharius and Francis put me on. Just saying.
Shout out to Jaharius and Francis, man. Let's do it.
I'm horrible with names. I'm about to call him Jaharius.
No, just Jaharius. I was like, who is Jaharius? But anyway, to answer the actual question now. But yeah, long story short, I was throwing these parties. I felt like everybody in the room were doing things. Like, they were professionals. Like, they were working in corporate, doing really cool creative work, etc., etc. And I'm like,
right?
You see, this is why I can't be touching stuff. Boop.
I ain't getting me with that shit.
What color?
Blue.
Oh, okay.
That's only a draw too. Okay, that's fine.
Well, you can put down.
No, I was fronting.
Oh, like he's actually gonna put something down. But all in all, people in the room, they were doing really amazing things, and I was like, you know what? Parties are cool, but like, what if I created a space where people can actually like get jobs from each other? Like, we're all early career people, but we're not going to stay early career. So how do we help each other climb? And I kind of felt like parties are fun, but they're not going to help you get that necessarily, because you're not in a space to have conversations when the music is really loud and you dub it, you get wines. Like, it's not the place for that. So how can I create that? And that's why I made that. Blue. Boom.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh.
No one caught that. Ooh.
Because you hear the storytelling and everything.
Listen. We
She's distracting us, y'all.
Right. Okay, so how did this first endeavor, this first business idea and concept evolve into the first version of HuCapital? I know when I met you guys, funny enough, you the story person. You want to say how we met?
So it's so funny because when I walked in here, I said, shout out to community, because how I met Dre. I met Dre first. I was at an event. It was like a pop-up shop, I think. They had like vendors in the back. They had like an art like situation. I was with a few friends. I went with a few friends, and he was there doing pop-up tattoos, and we literally connected from that, and like followed each other on Instagram. We'd be locking in, checking in, texting, and I invited him to like my first event, and then ever since he came, we've just been super locked in.
Wait, this is recent.
No, this is what, like 2 years ago. 2 years ago?
Yeah,
this was in 2020. It was 2024, I think.
Yeah. So man, more or less,
this is recent.
Oh yeah, recent. We met within the last like 2.
I'm thinking y'all niggas really. Oh god,
that's the charisma.
fire.
That's the vibe,
Yeah.
right? So yeah.
The crazy part is, I just pulled up on you there, actually.
She did!
So I missed you. So I could have met you. But I came really late after the function ended. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did, and we went to a diner after.
Yo, what?
You should have brought your equipment and did tattoos for us. We actually have matching tattoos.
Yeah, we do. Oh, well.
Man.
Yeah. That's the vibe. When you're
so it's well, y'all can't really see right. But we actually got the coordinates of where we met, which is
DeWitt Clinton High School.
Come on.
Longitude and latitude.
Come on.
Y'all so cute, man.
It actually took us so long to get this tattoo because we wanted to be like different and unique, and we just could not figure out like what we wanted to get.
Yeah, no, I'm not that creative, to be honest. So there's that.
Actually, give yourself a little more credit. You've been eating the last couple months.
I have.
Is it my turn? No, it's your turn, I think.
I think she picked.
Yeah, I pick up.
So that's super.
So wait, how did the name HuCapital come about?
Well, I think first you had asked how did the first endeavor
lead into
this one,
the first
and
version.
then we get into the name.
Got you. Well, so yeah, first things first. The first company was called Millennial Vision. It was meant to mean like a millennial's vision for the future of the world.
That's tough.
That's what it. Listen, I can't even tell you how I came up with that idea, but I thought I ate with that too. I'm not gonna lie. But the whole point of it works.
It has a nostalgic feel.
It's just long though.
Yeah.
Millennial Vision. It's kind of lengthy, but it did what it needed to do.
It sounds like I don't know if y'all watch Fallout, the TV show Fallout, but it sounds like one of those old kind of Spishak or some kind of old school joint, but it's still fire. So Millennial Vision.
Yep.
Okay.
So when I created, the whole point of it was I would sadly have to stop throwing parties because when I kept both brands at the same time, people confused which company was doing what, and I didn't want that confusion.
Because you were the face, and they were like, "Yeah, now I'm trying to party," and then you're like, "No, well,
this is a networking event. Like, it's not that vibe. It's my turn or your turn? My turn. So I'm like, yeah, this is not my vibe. Uno. So I ended up transforming into that, but the whole point of it was to connect people only in person. And when COVID happened, COVID said absolutely not. So we started in 2018, but COVID happened, so no more in-person events as of 2020. So we had to add what color?
Make sure she don't got
yellow.
So anyway,
that's what too.
So you gotta pick up
your mistake.
Yeah,
back in the game, baby.
There you go.
When I told y'all they was gonna make me an Uno, this is exactly what I bet.
I ain't gonna front. I thought he was gonna win for 2
Right.
I thought so too. But yeah, so COVID made me have to shut it down because we were doing in-person events, but we had to do virtual events. And the virtual events, I will say this. If you want reach, if you want a reason to like get your brand out there and more nationally, more globally, doing virtual events are going to help you do that because anybody can tune in from everywhere.
What does that look like, a virtual event?
You just Zoom.
Yeah.
Set up a Zoom link,
panel,
make a panel,
breakout rooms.
You just do that, and that's a virtual event, and it let me like attract a lot more people from different cities and states for the both of us. But the issue is, we were able to offer some type of value, but it was educational value, not like networking value. And I feel like we created this not to really be just the education company. It's to be a networking experience.
In real life.
I didn't feel fulfilled. The reach grew, and that was great, but it was never just about reach. It was about physically getting people to bond and create things together, and that was no longer happening. So there comes a break. We took a break from 2021 to 2023. And HuCapital was a restart of that. Oh, damn. Shit. Oh. Ow.
So 2022 to 2023.
So yeah, so basically 2021. Oh no, was it 2021 or 2022? When did we stop it?
The colors.
She's gonna throw off and put another color.
Don't worry,
Blue.
Oh, thank you. I'm out. So continue.
Damn.
I'm free. I feel free.
Damn.
So y'all took a break.
A pivot.
What's the color?
Yellow. So we took a break. January 2023, we brought it back, and the whole point of bringing it back was everything was reopening.
Right.
So it's like if things are starting to open up again, but we're not seeing a lot of activity with people doing their own networking events or not as much, why not be the ones to like reignite that and reignite that energy? So that's why we ended up restarting it, because we had to go from the first company being in real life to URL, basically meaning online and virtual, to shutting it down for that reason, to now saying that the world is opening back up again, and there's no reason for us to end a dream that we once had when the opportunity has represented itself. And God, hopefully, we don't have anything like a COVID again, because this is a lifelong dream of ours, especially for myself, and I don't want to ever have to like halt. So I'm like doing the thing that I'm doing, because the stories that come out of what we do, chef's kiss, I can't stop. So COVID, please don't make a return. But that's why we came back. The opportunity presented itself.
That's fine. And you got to draw two on top of that.
Do I? Or no?
Ooh.
What's the color?
Green.
There's no green. Oh, there's green.
Nah, saying there's no green is crazy. Since you be lying,
That's
I told
full,
y'all.
by the way.
I see.
Shit.
Okay.
I was on my way out of here, man.
So now we have COVID putting a wrench in ideas and concepts and development. Well, before I continue, this is on you. You out now,
Okay,
right?
back?
Yeah, it's green.
You out. It's green.
Oh.
See, they be lying.
Trying to throw people off.
They be lying. That's the trick, guys. That's the trick. So COVID was kind of, in a sense, almost like a mini blessing. That's 2 for your mistake again. What are you doing?
It's a 6, bro. I'm blind. I told
That's
y'all.
an 8.
Right.
Yo, she put an 8.
And I didn't even catch
She
that.
put a yellow
First of all, wait,
9.
aren't you out?
I'm repping
I feel like that shouldn't count, because the people who are playing did not see
Carry on,
that.
account. Carry on.
And my thing is, you were talking and still notice that? Like, they were listening, didn't even notice
They
that.
do this for real. Literally.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's real. Listen, I can't speak for nobody else here, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I've never played a game and did a podcast recording at the same time in my life. I'm working a whole different side of my brain for this right now.
I told y'all.
But it's a good time.
Started.
This is the funnest experience I've actually ever had. So bear with me if I keep pausing and etc. Because
shout out to No Gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
well, you guys skipped. So
back to me again.
No. You
Oh,
picked
okay,
up 2 for your mistake.
So
It's on
you
you.
next.
I picked up.
No, it's
Wait,
on
can she
Magic.
still play after 2 for mistake or no?
No.
Oh, no, she can't put down no more.
Yeah, I don't have
You
to.
He said nah. It's okay. It's out.
So y'all took a break, and then y'all came up with a new company.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shooky.
Come on now.
Oh, shooky. Yeah, you go back. You go back to you for that. Look at that. Yeah.
Ooh.
So walk us through what that was like. No, but I mean, yeah, walk us through what that was like. Yeah.
Starting a new company after the break.
I'm talking about starting a new company after I got to draw how much?
Just 2.
Oh, I thought you stacked it. Okay.
Just 2.
God damn. Starting a new company. Ah, man. I'm gonna be so honest with y'all.
I'm gonna say we got to get Magic to talk more, because she's
talk about it.
trying to really focus on the
Can you tell me
game.
no, right?
She's looking at you like, yeah, but it's your goal. It's green.
got this.
So in terms of like when, so a lot of people don't know, like HuCapital actually started out as a podcast, right? And so when you ask about like the origin name of like HuCapital, funny enough, it used to be HUE capital. So think of like Hue, like different shades.
Oh, okay,
Right, different shades of like people, and then think of like capital, right? Like making money. So the podcast was initially like hosted by Juju, and she pretty much interviewed professionals that were doing amazing things like in their field and like making bread, from professionals to founders and different industries, right? And so while we were doing that, we were actually working on something else that is not the most irrelevant, but it kind of like it turned into part of HuCapital now anyway. But ultimately, from the podcast, we knew we had Pause Millennium Vision and we wanted to start throwing events again. And so that is where the infamous Hugh Lane was born. Shout out to Hugh Lane, our 3-year anniversary is coming up.
Night.
And so one thing about, another thing we didn't mention, me and Juju actually live together. We live in the same house.
We do everything together.
We've been living together
I feel like
for
y'all
the last
soulmates.
4 years.
Yeah, we're like different
Listen,
soulmates, like literally.
The thing that I
100%.
always say is we share everything except men.
There we go.
Okay, that's the only thing we don't share. But We have been living together since 2021 and it is now 2026.
Yeah.
And we have another year on our
crazy.
lease. So our lease not up till 2027. And if we both still single by then, we'll be together
The next lease.
for another year. But anyway, so in our house, we're always like on the phone and then we're up late because we're always working, doing random stuff.
By the way, we're in like 2 different rooms in the same apartment on the phone.
Always
like,
on the phone.
literally.
With each other, I mean.
Yeah, with each other.
Oh.
Yeah. Making that
You know,
very
we,
clear. Like we
talk on the phone to each
Yeah,
other.
we're in the same place on the phone.
I know what you're thinking. Why don't we just get up and go to each other's room?
Too lazy.
But
'Cause
it's too much.
I'm in my
And
own
then it'd be
space.
late. It'd be late and stuff. But so anyway, we were on the phone one night, just kind of, you know, brain dumping about like different events that we could like potentially throw. We're like, yo, we gotta start throwing events. And I had the idea of like nostalgia because I feel like a lot of networking events are like, you know, you come there, like, you know, you connecting with people, but I feel like that's like literally like just it. And I was looking for something that I felt could connect to like millennials and like people like my age. Like, what is like nostalgic? So I started to think about, okay, what are some games that we played growing up? So I'm like hopscotch, maybe like Skelzy, like double. I'm like, you cannot turn like nothing like that into an event. But then I thought, okay, we all went to college. We all went to traffic light parties, right? Where red if you're taken, green if you're single, yellow if it's complicated. And so then I was like, oh, what if we took that and then changed the colors and the concept and just instead of, you know, your dating status, we put different industries. And that is really like the birth of what it is today. We didn't even have a name like for the event, right? And so it's funny because now that we have dropped the E, so we ended up dropping the E because, you know, we don't want to be seen as something that is just, you know, for people that look like us, right? We are inclusive to all demographics and all people. So we dropped the Hue and we moved the space. So it's now HULANE. But it's funny that like sometimes people kind of get like confused about it because with Hue Lane is the event and HuCapital is the company. So pretty much we just kind of started thinking about, okay, if we're doing traffic light, what can we name this event? So we started thinking about like street, way, drive, avenue, right? And a lot of the things like just kind of like wasn't eaten, but we ultimately ended on Hue Lane. But now that we have rebranded, sometimes people don't really like get it, right? Because it's like if it's a traffic light, it's HuCapital, like Hue Lane, right? Like you're on your road to success, meeting professionals, founders, all that stuff. So that is really ultimately how HuCapital began. But we were just an events company,
literally.
And it's your go.
So
I was going to say it. I was like,
see?
you know, the outsider should be the one maybe. You know,
I mean, I can regulate.
Like I said, it's hard to work both sides,
right?
So, Hue Lane, HuCapital is a mixture of millennial visions, right? Don't get
we saying it wrong.
Just call it a rebirth. Millennial vision, like millennial and then vision.
Millennial vision.
But HuCapital is literally a rebirth of like what that was, but not a rebirth in terms of how we operated the business because the kinds of events that we did through HuCapital were not the same as what we did through Millennial Vision. Like Millennial Vision was very much so small, intimate events. What we would do is we would take people who are from a specific industry and we would bring them together in a very informal activity-like experience. Meaning, we did medical professional paint and sips. We did educators' game nights. So how do we get people who are in this industry to engage, not in a very professional setting? That's how it started. We have not done anything like that actually through HuCapital
at all.
Maybe we should, but we haven't.
I feel like I had that game night.
Well, that's not HuCapital.
Okay,
that's,
there's HuCapital events, and then there's a Magic and Juju production. Juju Magic production. So the game nights, so we're like...
No, not that game night. The one that y'all had on 42nd Street. At the, that spot right there on 42nd Street.
You said a karaoke event?
No, not the karaoke one.
Oh, which one?
It was like...
With the name tags?
No, we all sat and did the
speed networking. Okay.
Oh, okay. But that's not the industry specific. That's still different.
Okay. But I felt like it was still
intimate. Yes,
intimate, small, and then but to me it was geared towards AI, right? And we're gonna get into the AI stuff in a moment. But I felt even though y'all obviously are the masterminds behind it and the developers of it, I saw it as a little segment, maybe a little brother, little sister of that kind of individual.
Yes. You could definitely say that for sure. Because and it's so funny, we talk about this all the time, that like from working on Millennial Vision and then to building like our next thing, which wound up not even being the thing we did, we wound up doing HuCapital. We spent over a year in like meetings, planning, talking about different personas of people that could be on this and evaluating like, different things. But in the moment, it can kind of feel like we are just meeting week after week after week with like nothing to show for it. Because I know like my family was watching me every night. They like, what are y'all doing? Like y'all ain't meet us all the time. Like you ain't really know me. Like do nothing. But like all of those like buildings, all of those meetings, right, set the foundation for everything that we're doing today. So nothing was like done in vain.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's where we at right now. Like we meet.
No, this is fire.
This is like, yo, you don't want to know. You meet all day. Like, I sleep at his house. It's open.
Listen, and that's important, right? Because I think, and this is kind of like going off on a tangent, but real quick, right? A lot of people often ask, like, how are we able to, like, work together? Like, we're friends. We do business. Like, y'all don't get tired of each other. You know, I think one thing is when we're bringing the same person and, you know, we don't like fight about anything. We've never even argued, right? Like we have like disagreements, but it's literally just like, okay, I didn't like this, or
and that's pretty much it.
And it's literally like that. It's not like we're not talking to each other. But I think something that we started doing, which has helped, is like setting intentional time to like meet, because I think it's easy to assume that okay, we live together, so you know we're gonna be talking about these things, and that don't really happen because you be BSing, right? And so I think we do a very good job also at like separating like the business like from personal, and like business is like just business, and then personal is like, you know, fun, kind of, you know, whatever. So I think we do a really good job at like splitting those things, and that's why we're able to like work so well together.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I would also say too, like, 'cause people ask us this question a lot, and I would just say I don't think that either one of us are like very ego-driven people. Yeah. Like I feel like because we're not like that, whenever someone has something to say that may not be the most pleasant thing to hear, we don't have to get defensive about it, because we don't ever have to think it's coming from like an ego-driven place or a bad or evil-minded place. Like we genuinely care for each other. So anytime criticism is being given on either direction, we know it's just coming from a good place, and there's no reason to bark and fight about it. You either just fix it, or we just keep readdressing it over and over again, and that's okay, because any relationship is like that, whether it's friendship, intimate, or professional. Like you're gonna have conflict, and for people who are listening, don't run from conflict. Conflict is it's okay.
You gotta take it head on, honestly.
If you do not talk about the things that bother you, you are going to build up resentment, anger, etc. No matter what.
It make you stink.
It might make you stink. You just might. Now you're bad funny. But I would just really like reiterate that, like, confrontation and conflict is okay, but it doesn't have to be drastic. It shouldn't be angry. Just speak your piece. And I think that's why we work well. We have a good communication style.
I wasn't texting or anything. I was going through my phone to make sure I got some questions for y'all.
So what challenges did y'all face for HuCapital? Because I looked at my notes too. What challenges did y'all face developing HuCapital?
So, well, I asked a question before that. In terms of it being the events company or the tech company that it is now, because we've had different challenges for different like eras of the business. And for context, we used to be an events company. We are not an events company now. We still do events, but events supports the brand. It supports what we're trying to achieve. We're actually an AI professional social network. We are building an AI alternative to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is on paper a social network, but in action and how you use it, it is a job search tool.
That's what it is.
A sales tool, really.
100%. Like when you go on LinkedIn, you are trying to sell yourself. You're trying to sell yourself to get your job. But when you get that job, people just leave.
Ghost, you're done.
And then the only people that end up staying when they don't want a job are people who still don't have a job, and people who are constantly selling you something. So they need to be visible because they have something to make you buy from them.
Right.
So if that's what LinkedIn is for, we need to make sure that there's a space for people who just genuinely want to meet people, have conversations. Some people get excited about anonymously being connected to other individuals, and HuCapital basically facilitates that. Like we use AI to match people one-to-one. We use AI to match people in peer groups. Studies literally say and show that when people are brought together for a particular endeavor, they're more likely to feel supported than when it's just them on their own. Right. So if that is the case, why would people match people? It's always just one-to-one. If everything says that when you put people in a group together, they kind of feel more emotionally invested in each other's growth, and they can support each other just along the way. Right. And if you lose one in the group, there was still two more.
Exactly.
So I'll just say like that was kind of the pivot for us. And I want to make that very clear because we had a hard time, back to your question about challenges, where because we're so known for our events, and we should be, because I think we do a damn good job. That's the head of events right there. Listen. But we're a product-based company now. My background's product management. I've been working in health tech, and I'm using this experience where I've worked on AI tools, chat bots, SaaS tools, SMS, and it's like you do all these things for a corporation. And by the way, I'm never anti 9 to 5. I'm gonna use these. Stop talking bad about these jobs. You could be an entrepreneur. You could be 9 to 5. Pick your route. But the bashing is crazy because different eras call for either one of those things.
Right.
But anyway, you learn all those things and you have a vision for the target audience you want to cater to. At some point in your life, you're going to step aside and say, it's time for me to use this knowledge and do something different with it. And that was the era that called for us. So just giving that long-winded way of saying the biggest challenge for us, we had many, but the biggest was about pivoting from events, building an actual piece of technology, building technology that we hope can one day compete with the likeness of a multi-billion-dollar company, and not even to throw color in it, but we kind of have to. This is not the kind of people that you see leading an Amazon, a LinkedIn, etc. And it makes the journey a lot harder. So we are happy that people see us for events, but we want y'all to know the events is a vibe. The events is the way we bring people together in real life, but we created a product to make it easier for you to meet people online who you can now take in real life and build that relationship further. So that's what our intent is at this stage.
Okay, that's super fire. And so with that in mind, you have to ultimately do a rebranding and say, hey,
that
look,
was the challenge.
Like with rebranding, like when I say dropping that E and removing that space, like it sounds simple. It sounds so simple, but I'm like, the process of rebranding was intense. I'm talking about we have to change everything on the website. So when you come to our events, you see that the screens say HuCapital, you know, maybe like little things, table tents. All of those pictures have to be removed, right? We need to change the website URL. We need to change all of our emails, our info email, our events email, personal emails, right? So we're having automated messages going. And now another thing, now because we have these new emails, our emails are going to everybody's spam. So they're not even seeing it. Like it was crazy. It was crazy.
I will do this real quick though. Because I want to know who's really watching, you know, these. I don't really talk about like what HuCapital actually stands for. Magic mentioned earlier about like just various shades of people who are trying to get access to capital, right? Meaning success, you want money, a new job, whatever. But the actual other definition of it was always meant to be human capital. And that's what we talk about now, but it was always that too, because human capital is an industry that no one talks about. The whole point of human capital is investing in oneself. Investing in individual people, making sure they have the resources, the training, the wellness, etc., for them to be their most optimal self. And no one talks about that because in corporations, it's all about how much can I get out of you versus how much can I invest in you. And like we want to be the ones who can like in our effort show that it's people first for real. And then as we gain a brand that people really see us for that, and we have that, but just not at a big national scale yet. And then global yet. But I'll talk about the definition more then.
Okay. Well, I was going to lead into the next question. You're talking about people investing. Y'all got $26,000.
Hello.
Right?
Crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding.
Shout out to our community. Shout out to our people.
What turn is it, by the way?
No, I remember this game. Like I said, it's hard.
I feel like it might be your turn.
It's my turn. I bet. Uno out.
He was just asking just to get out. I mean, at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, let's wrap it up. Damn, girl. I'm so bad at it. Okay, there we go. Just
Uno.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Okay.
You just doubled up.
Okay.
She's playing. Wow. Ooh. And she knows how to smile.
I like a little suspense.
I told y'all that. Like,
said that.
Uno is not my game.
She was the first one.
100%.
Words have power. You the first one.
Can't got me.
Right.
But yeah, 26K.
So this is crowdfunding. This isn't grants.
Equity free.
Yep.
Crowdfunding. So to be very specific.
Friends and family.
That part. When you hear the term crowdfunding, there's equity-free crowdfunding, and then there's equity crowdfunding, meaning that there are ways for everyday people to invest with their actual money into your company and have a stake in it. That's one version of crowdfunding. Because we were still in the idea phase, having so many people involved in ownership that early is very tricky. So we didn't want to go that route too soon. So we just pretty much said we're going to launch this non-equity crowdfunding campaign. You get to pre-order, your plan for HuCapital. It is going to be a freemium plan, meaning that you can use the platform for free. But if you want to unlock the real shit in the platform, you do have to pay because it's a business. And every day we are fighting for our lives to pay for development costs. So when we charge y'all, we promise y'all, we just need to keep the lights on. You get me? But for that reason, we did pre-orders. And literally nearly 400 people contributed, and that's how we got to $26,000. And that was mainly for people who actually attend our events. We say friends and family, and it definitely was our friends for sure, and some family, but a lot of it was people who came to our events. So I'll always tell people, there's this concept in business, right, where you can either build the product first and then find the customers, or you can find customers first and then give them a product. If you find your customer base first and you start doing and serving them in some type of way, when you have some kind of digital, tangible, whatever software product, you already have people to offer it to. And I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a little easier because you at least have somewhere to start. You know what pool of talent you can give it to. So I would highly advise starting that way. But $26K, that's how we built our MVP. MVP means a minimal viable product. It's a tech term, and it just means you're building the very fundamental version of a product to get it in the hands of people, because nothing drives the future of your product more than the people who are using it and telling you that's whack, that's fire, I hate that. Even our team have came together and literally battled it out with our platform, butchered it, was that's whack, hate that, love that. But that's how it evolves, and that's why it's as good as it is now.
How does y'all build the team? So I know it's more than you two. How does y'all build the team? How did that go about?
No, for sure. I think the one thing that I think separates us from a lot of other events in New York City, I think a lot of people are attracted to us as individuals, right? People like being around us, and I think that is what attracts people to our events. And I am glad to say that, most of the people that we have had on our team, we didn't really go out looking for them. So in the beginning, it was really just me and Juju, doing these events, doing everything, looking for sponsorships, getting this money and everything. Yep. And they were people that were just y'all are so dope. Y'all are so amazing. What can I do for you guys? How can I be involved? And I mean, I think we've all have felt that, right? Being inspired by somebody and just wanting to be involved and being in their space. And that is truly how we built our team. When we were HuCapital, the foundation, that team, shout out to the members from there, the marketing team, that's really what got us the followers that we have, and got us the presence, right, from having ideas, and cause we wasn't really paying nobody, right, we have no money to give nobody, right, we could here's a gift card, here's a quick little dinner, but nobody was really making an actual money, from being on the teams. And so I think from being who we are and people just believing in the vision, right? So I think it's twofold. It's who we are and people enjoying us, and then seeing what we're doing for professionals and for founders, and the way that we are just trying to help people create intentional relationships to then further their career. I think that was the vision that they were drawn to, and was I don't really I don't know where y'all are gonna end up, but I want to be a part of that journey. Yeah. And that is truly how we built the team. And it's funny you asked that, because we have gotten so much feedback about y'all team is lit. How did you find these people?
We attract the right ones. I will say this though, a quick small correction. We don't pay anybody on payroll, but we don't only give gift cards. When we have some funds, we'll give stipends and little things like that. But no one's on payroll because we don't have ongoing a lot. When you start something, what you make for the most part gets reinvested into the business. Yeah. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it will stay stagnant. So at some point, it felt like something that could one day pay us, because we were indeed seeing profits from the events, but then you start having bigger ideas. Right. So it's the numbers start growing, the ideas start growing, you need more people involved. So occasionally we'll give out little stipends and things like that. And I mention that only because for people who are hoping to do what we did, which is hopefully attract the people that you want, I think what made people also want to stay was knowing that if we ever had something,
we would give,
it's going to be given, to the point that they're going to get it before me. People always say, entrepreneurs, pay yourself first. That's cap. It sounds great, It really does. But like,
that's for like the people that's like coaches and
like,
shit like that.
right?
Like,
It's
don't really need a whole bunch of people.
It's hard to always pay yourself first. Sometimes it's your team that has to get it first, and that's okay.
Absolutely. Now I'm here. I'm gonna start reading my actual questions. I've just been freestyling. Based off of all of this, what advice would y'all both give to someone that's kind of starting out within either the event throwing and event development or connectivity aspect and or the AI world or industry?
Yeah, I think in terms of, events, I would say find your why, right? I think we didn't just like go out there and just, start throwing events, right? We went to a lot of events, like our ears to the streets. We're hearing, we're seeing what's happening, right? And I would say find your why and then identify like a problem, right? And so I feel like we're hearing what people are looking for. We're seeing the events that are happening, and we can identify like, okay, there's a gap here, right? Like something is missing. I'm going to all these events and I still feel like, I'm not necessarily walking away with like X, Y, and Z. So our whole thing was, how can we create intentional ways for people to make relationships? Sure, you can go to an event, right? And if you don't really know who's in the room, especially if like you're shy, like it can make it harder for you to actually like meet people, right? So I think one of the good things that we did, one of the strategic things that we did was, we were intentional about that, right? So creating different industries, giving people color-coded name tags and wristbands, so that, okay, if Dre has a red wristband, I have a red wristband, I know that we work in the same industry, so you're someone that I need to meet. Donnie loves going to events, but he's like super shy, doesn't really know what to say. Okay, boom, scan this QR code, you're gonna get a list of 25 icebreaker questions, and these will help you like drive the conversation. I didn't really get a chance to scan that, but I have this red ticket in my hand, like what is this? Okay, everybody has a red ticket in their hand, and somebody in this room has the same ticket as you, so you go find the person that has the same number, and then one of you guys will like win a prize. Shout out to our sponsors. We done gave out tickets to Lauryn Hill, Drake, basketball tickets.
We got to see Usher.
We got to see Usher, right? So I would say
you don't have to call.
Right, exactly.
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that.
We gotta put the clip there, right there.
Right,
but no, I would definitely say, I think if I had any advice to anybody that is watching this and wants to like get into like the event space, I would say find your why and identify a problem in whatever niche that you are throwing events in, and then just get creative. Like think outside the box. Because I think one thing people always tell us is like, nobody is like doing it like y'all, right? And we have this thing where we said 2026, we're not being humble no more.
No,
okay,
it's done.
We're not being humble. I think it's okay to like brag a little bit. Like our events are lit. We see the outcomes from it. People are building businesses together.
Yep.
I'm talking about, we had a financial advisor and a mental health professional create like a wellness financial series together. I'm talking about people have started run clubs. People are getting like jobs at like Fortune 500 companies. So our events are, yes, they're fun, but there's actual true impact that is coming out of it, right? Like value and revenue driven value as well, right? So I think these are the things that are important.
100%.
Before you ask the next question.
No, she got.
You
Go.
follow up? Oh, okay. For product, okay. I'm gonna answer this question very specifically to people who are not engineers, right? If you want to build a digital product, yes, everybody's gonna tell you that you should start off by vibe coding this thing. Vibe coding just basically means that you are using these new AI tools that allow you to build technology without you having to like actually code it. And those tools are out there. There's Lovable, there's Replit, Base 44. Oh my God, there's so many. Which one? V0. V0? Yeah. Is it V0? It is that and other things.
Yes. Or something.
Just V0, just VO. But yes, a bunch of different AI tools. And I would just say, like, if you want a very affordable way to just get an idea in front of people, I would definitely say vibe code it, because anything that's more intentional, anyhow you're trying to achieve this perfect, most beautiful product, it gets very, very expensive. Products will eat up your pockets in development costs if you are not an engineer. And even in vibe coding this tool, that's the start. But when you want to expand on it and it gets a little bit more complex in ways that you don't understand the technology behind it, you are going to have to tap other resources to continue building it. So I would just say, be aware that this can be an expensive journey, and it's very important that you recognize it's okay to start small. And it's not small in terms your idea is small, it's just small in terms of being reasonable with how much cost you are going to take on if you try to build the best thing right away. Just build a version of that thing, put it in front of people, let them tell you how they feel about it, and just keep building on top of that. That is the feedback that I would give. I give that feedback not because I'm the person who completely did it the right way, because I did not. Like, I like to get into it and build, and it has costed us money to build it. I'm very satisfied with the product and the design, of course, but it is expensive. So if you did not crowdfund that $26K, doing what we did to build a foundation of our products may not be as feasible. And the last thing I'll also say about building a product is you have to talk to people. Like earlier I mentioned about building a community first and then delivering a product. You don't have to build an entire community, but it would be really helpful if you just kept talking to people that you think would one day become users of your products, and just ask them questions and get to understand, like, what are the actual problems that you're experiencing in your blank, whatever you're trying to solve. And then start with that. If you don't ask enough people, you might end up building a product that you wanted, but maybe you might not even know how to find the people, right, that have that problem, and now you kind of build something that no one's going to use. Make sure you know where they are, because if you build it first, you'll have an idle product for a while. So be prepared.
Y'all killing me because the follow-up questions y'all kind of already answering.
Go
ahead. What's your question?
I got to get this out.
Okay.
So, like, all right, it's cool. Like, all right, you want to start for people who want to start their networking thing or the AI tool or whatever, that's cool. But I think there's something that goes into your aura that, like, speaks more, right? So I want to talk about how we met.
Come on, talk about how we met.
I want to talk about how we met, right? So he's telling me I got to come to a karaoke event in Brooklyn. I said, hell no. What did you tell about, right? He was like, nah, vibes.
I said it's the B2s.
Word.
You don't even know what B2 is.
I was like, what B2
No,
means?
B2
Oh, I just
means
met like 2 people from the Bronx.
business
Okay.
baddies.
Business baddies. That's what we do.
You ate
I like that. I like that.
They always
I don't
give
even
me a
like
lot of
Bronx, like 2 people from the
B2s.
Bronx. Okay, how about that?
So business baddies was very imperative, right? Because I'm like, yo, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my time around just the baddies, right? Because they're not really, it's not here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not here. So,
Pain, bro.
so I go to your event, and I'm like, damn, this vibe is fire, right? It's like it was a karaoke event, and it had nothing to do with.
And this is friends only.
Friends only.
It's not HuCapital.
This is
Hey,
a
no, we
Magic
do
and
HuCapital.
Juju production.
This is
Exactly.
Earlier.
But I think that it was important because the vibe, like, it's made you feel free. And it's funny because you talk about networking. I got like maybe 10 Instagrams. We like 10 people that Instagrams that we exchanged, and it became like networking-ish because people felt so free and so like love. Like, I don't know what it is, but something about y'all aura just brings like, yo, just people together, love. Like, I mean, people from my school that graduated, like 3 years after me, 4 years after me, 2 years before me. I'm like, yo, how are y'all here right now, right? And it's like, yo, the event was fire. And I'm like, yo, to your point, right? Keeping those constant relationships, right? You may never know, like, these maybe one of your people who may want to purchase your product one day, or so I just think that, like, having the aura to actually host an event and be hostess like as good as y'all are is very important. Like, I can't have an event like there are people who just want to throw events who are just like, okay, here we go, and it's not really like a vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that y'all background in these parties and all these traffic stop parties that you had actually added to just like how people like just appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because there was a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
It was
I think this. I think we have balance between, well, I would say less now because I've been stressed. But other than that, I feel like we have balance in terms of being fun and being serious. And I think because we have that balance, we attract people who also are about their business, but they're also a good time. So your point about having aura or a certain type of aura, when you are something, you're most likely going to attract a good amount of that thing. Yeah. When people who are new come into that atmosphere, they're going to feel welcome because we don't do the whole professional bougie. Like, we don't do that. Like, people who are our peers, you know, and it's a privilege to be able to say, like, we're from the Bronx. Like, we're talking about Eden Wall. I'm Boston.
I grew up in the projects. I grew up in the projects. Okay, it's the elevators. Okay, I grew up in the projects.
Literally, like, so to be able to say that, like, we are the people, and we have peers who are people who are working at big finance, big tech, etc., you know, working in health tech. She's been in tech and healthcare, etc. To be able to say that this is the kind of people that we put together, film, creatives, designers, etc., like, this is the people that we've made friends out of, but because of our humble beginnings, no one has really changed the true nature of who they are. And I think because we've all retained that, our community at least, the vibe will always be a vibe, because our job, it doesn't define our energy or our demeanor. Our character and our upbringing does.
I could not stop talking about that event, bro.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, he's being really calm about it right now, because the actual highlight
was him
of that night was him.
We gotta cue the clip in here.
But listen, don't get it twisted, right? That just goes to show, right? Because I'm a very laid back person, right? So it's like, yo, damn, like, we really vibing in here. And like, as a grown ass man, right? There are not enough events where like I'm actually able to enjoy myself. We're actually able to move around. We're actually able to dance. We're actually able to just be free, right? And like, enjoy yourself and not worry about how people are judging you or nothing like that. And it's like, yo, goddamn, we went out one night and went to a karaoke event, met great people, and I could not stop talking about it. I'm like, yo, goddamn, and I started to think about.
We were on the train, like, damn, we should. Why do we leave?
Yo,
we just got to Manhattan. Like,
why do we? Yo, real talk. And I think about what Francis and Jerry's probably seen in y'all. Like, I'm just like, oh shit, like,
remember their names.
I like that.
Yo, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo,
I like that.
Yo, I could not stop talking about that fan. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, Drake, we gotta get them for a fucking, we gotta get them for an event. We gonna talk about that later. But word, I'm like, yo, goddamn.
And it's so funny that you mentioned that it was kind of like networking, because I think when people hear networking, they think professional. You know, I have to like go to this like uptight event, bring my suitcase, like, no. The whole point of like our networking events, right, is yes, it's networking, but it's meant to be relaxed. Chill. You don't gotta come in a suit and tie and bring like your resume, no, you're here to find a good vibe, because at the end of the day, like, we are still human. We're still people from the Bronx, people from Harlem, people from Brooklyn, right? Like, you just coming from your 9 to 5 already. Like, you don't want to be like in a like uptight space. But also the other thing is that even if you're going to like a party, anytime you step out your house is an opportunity to network. And I'm like, that's why I know so many people. Like, people will meet me and be like, man, I met this person that said they know you, and I always be like, first of all, people say they know me, they don't even know me. But no, but for real, I feel like every time I go to an event, I'm always like, yo, like, let's stay connected, because you know, to the point, you really never know like what can turn out of it. Like, I never thought I'd be like on your podcast,
right?
Like, just doing tattoos
in here, like, they're really good.
And I was interject. They for a minute. It was like, he just do tattoos. I'm like, yo, I do mad stuff.
Actually, crazy part is I did not know you for tattoos. I didn't know you would do that. I know you can design. Like, I know you can.
That's what I'm saying. So different people know me for different things.
I never that was new to me.
In my mind, you was always like the tattoo guy. Like, because I met you doing tattoos.
And mind you, I have like 7, 8, so you should have been doing my tags.
We could set that up for sure.
Yeah.
The punchline of that networking event. Every time I asked for someone on Instagram, they was like, "So how do you know Magic?" Yeah, for the karaoke.
That was not networking.
Not the networking event. Excuse me.
But the vibe.
The vibe.
Networking. Yeah.
Excuse me. How do you know Magic? How do you know Juju?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? I'm like, God damn. I was like,
he said, actually, I don't know you.
I don't. Real talk.
He told me to come.
Yo, real talk. And it was crazy. Then I started meeting people actually knew. And I'm like, yo, how you know it? It's like, oh, nah.
Listen, let me tell you one thing.
Because everybody asks that.
Our events be mad mixy. Let me tell you the mixiest thing that has ever happened.
Mixy, though.
Yeah. Let me tell you the mixiest thing that has ever happened at a Magic Juju production. So we used to throw game nights in our house. And so, you know, it's always like, you know, invite only, but, you know, you can bring a +1. So people be bringing, like, their friends. And we used to have, a really bigger apartment in Yonkers. And there was this one time, this, like, guy walks in that I went to college with. And I'm like, and I haven't seen him since, like, we graduated. This was, like, 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm like, oh, shit, like, what's up? Like, how you been, da-da-da? I was like, how did you find out about this? And he's like, oh, you know, my bros just told me, like, yo, like, come pull up. I said, you know, this is my house? He was like, what? I said, yes, this is my crib. Like, I'm talking about, I've seen people in my crib that I I knew, but I did not invite. So I'm always going, like, not in a rude way,
in a good
not in a bad way. I'm just wondering,
tough.
like, who do you know that, like, how did you get here? I'm talking, I've been at events at people's house or whatever, game nights, and I'm talking to people, and they're like, yeah, like, because I was at your New Year's thing. I was like,
You
what?
there? No. All right. For context, we had a duplex, and the bottom floor was big, so it could fit a good amount of people. Where it's actually like very much so possible that you don't know everybody who's there, nor do you really see them.
Right.
But like, even back to her point, and like your reaction was mad funny. It's like, we allow people to bring plus ones because it's kind of the magic of, well, no pun intended. That's kind of the magic of what we create. Like, we're locked in because you came through him. If we never said bring a plus one, we would have never met you. You would have never bodied that performance at the, like, I don't think I'll get it. He is forever, like, we're locked
like,
in.
you were the most memorable
100%.
performance that night.
But we call that network effects, right? Where it's like, you may know somebody, but they'll start bringing their people around you, and you just become this one large grand family. So, like, to Magic's point, like, people will come. We may never have known who they are, but they become new friends. They become new community members. It may be people from a past, or some people are blessed in the past. Some people, I ain't gonna lie, some little, you know.
That's a gem.
That's a gem.
Because I feel like I also didn't really get to chop it up with you like too much at the event, and after you performed, like you said, like y'all kind of got up out of there. I just kept saying, who was that?
The whole time.
I need his Instagram. And then you followed me the next day, and I was so happy. I was like, yo, bro, you bodied last night.
100%.
Like, I was like, who was that? I need his Instagram. Who did he come with? Like, I feel like you introduced me, but I don't think it was like paying attention too much. There was so many people.
Right.
But I was like, nah.
Allow plus ones.
Allow plus ones.
Allow them.
So back to my little professional question.
Okay.
What's one thing about your industries in general that you wish more people knew about or understood?
You know, I'll start. Well, I come from two industries, right? I didn't always start in tech. I was just in healthcare in general, doing like program management, nonprofit work. Not that. So I was biology in my studies, but to become a doctor. I thought I was going to be an OBGYN, and then I graduated, and I was like, I don't want to be in school no more. It's a lot. I did go to grad school though. But I'll start with tech though. I think that a lot of people think like tech is like this inaccessible, like worldly thing that only a certain population of people should have access to, because you see certain people having most of the access to it. And I think what's also happening right now is because of all these significant layoffs in the tech industry, it's becoming less interesting to people because they feel like it's not stable. So why should I embark on that journey? I absolutely understand that logic. Here's the problem with it. If you are somebody who you just operate out of the kindness of your heart, you are a social impact individual, and you want to have global reach, you should be in tech, because what makes tech so powerful is that it is the one tool that expands scalability. It makes it easier for whatever you're doing to be amplified, not only locally, not only regionally, not only nationally, but globally. Tech is responsible for making things a lot more accessible to people. So I don't want people to allow themselves to see all these things happening and say, that's not an industry that's for me, because it's so crazy, because the people who are telling you don't come here no more, it's not going to exist in 5 years, their kids are still pursuing careers in this space. Yep. Bill Gates, owner of Microsoft, I'm not saying that he's the person saying that tech is not going to matter in 5 years because of AI, but while other leaders are saying that, Bill Gates' daughter, Phoebe Gates, is raising millions of dollars to build a fashion tech app. Why in the world does a tech giant, tech leader like Bill Gates want to see his daughter pursue something like this if that industry won't matter in 2 seconds? Because it's always going to matter, because it's the thing that makes everything accessible. So if you are someone who wants to build things at scale out of the kindness of your heart, you should be embarking on a road in tech. There are roles that are being hired for. You will see roles on people's sites. Find what's for you and find your way in there. And just one last thing I will say, if you do not care about kindness and doing things out of the sweetness of your heart, and all you care about is getting this money, tech has all the money. Yes. Like software, all the money. If all you care about is money, tech and finance, period. So
cybersecurity, they got a lot of certificates for that,
and they're hiring like crazy for cybersecurity. Get your money.
Yes, that part. And so what I was gonna say too is also, I think a lot of people think that like tech is not for them because they're like in a certain industry, and I think a lot of people don't understand, you know, tech at the intersection of business, right? So you have fintech, you have martech, you have health tech, right? I always tell people like, go open your phone. What apps do you have on your phone? Tech is part of every company. If your company has an app, there's some type of like tech that is related to that company.
Even automations.
Oh, heavy on automations.
If you automate something, that's tech.
Exactly, right? And so I feel like get out of the mindset of thinking that there is like no like space for you. And I think I'm even like a good example of that, right? Like I've worked in tech, but I am what we call a non-technical tech professional, right? Juju's technical. She's been a product manager.
Well, product people aren't always called technical. We're actually called non-technical, but we're more technical because we're leading. So, okay, real quick clarification.
I guess it depends on the type of product manager.
It depends. Like, unless your title says technical product manager, a product manager role is always tech in the tech industry. But what is supposed to be an actual technical role is anybody who's like physically building the product, data scientists, engineers. But product managers are a very weird position where you are technical in the nature of the business that you are building around this product, because a product manager sets the vision for a product, the direction of a product, and they lead the team that's building the product. So you must be technical in terms of knowing the potential of this thing you're building, but you don't physically build it, and that's why we're actually grouped as non-technical.
So that means that you have to even get a job doing that and not even have to push the buttons.
I played around with CSS. I'm not doing that.
And so like my journey like into tech, like I mentioned, I was working at Forever 21, making $9.75 an hour. But after that, I got in. My career actually started in tech sales, and a lot of people don't know that. I used to sell software. I used to sell legal software to lawyers. So I would be making cold calls all day. You know, hey, this is Magic calling you from right. And so that was like my like journey into tech. And with what we were doing like with Millennium Vision at the time, I realized that okay, I don't really like sitting down like cold calling people, but I like giving people opportunity. And so I made the decision to pivot into recruiting. And so my background is in talent acquisition. So that's what a lot of people will know me for. Like I'm hiring, like I've hired. So after that role, I went into finance and I was like, yeah, this is just not for me. And so I went back into tech, and that was like my first time making six figures, right? I was 25 in a non-technical role.
Wait, she was the first in our group chat, our girls group chat that she mentioned earlier, to hit six figures. You were definitely the first.
She said the first one.
I'm like pretty sure you were. I don't think anybody hit six figures. I was like right after you, but no, you were the first. She was definitely the first.
And it's so crazy. And shout out to like mentors, right? And shout out to mentorship, everyone that has like been in my corner, people like Olu, you know, like the Germ, because these are the people that were in my corner, even Maddie, right, telling me, you know, I was making $60K before I went into like my 100, you know, K plus job. And these were the people that were telling me like, you are under like selling yourself. And I think a lot of people, when you graduate from college, you know, the way that like our parents make society seem is like, you know, you got to like climb this corporate ladder, which you do. I'm not going to act like you don't. But I think when you graduate from college, you kind of feel like you don't even have 2 feet to try to like ask for anything, negotiate anything, because you don't have any like experience. And so my hack, right, was taking like my transferable skills. Because I worked in sales, and what people don't understand is that recruiting is sales, right? I'm not selling a product or a service, but I'm selling you a role, right? I'm convincing you why you should work for me over like the Googles, and because I've always worked at startups, so I'm going up against like big names, right? And I got to find other selling points, you know, to really get people in the door. But I say all of this to say, I just lost my point.
I mean, I think you said some good things in there, though. Basically, the summary of that is advice to people who want to go into talent acquisition. Allow people to go ahead.
Allow people. No, wait, what?
Well, a couple.
Where was you going?
I was gonna say because Magic had made a comment about meeting different people who basically presented these options to you. People who were helping you along the journey. I'm just picking out some of them because you just hear a lot.
No, I did. I was going there.
Eat for you. I was trying to take you there. But
no, go ahead.
That's all right.
Because I like what
I was trying to save her, but then I was trying to save her, but she ain't let me save her. Don't save her. I tried.
That's totally fine, because I'll go to another question.
You said things that you wish people knew about technology.
Oh yes,
but that was advice though.
He took a minute. He had to dig deep into the brain for that.
But in terms of like where, that's fine.
But she spoke gems regardless.
Because now I feel like I had a specific point, and I hate when this happens.
Okay, let's see.
Shit.
People, talent, tech.
I was
Check
talking
sales,
about
sibling.
When you get out of college, you're not going
Oh,
to
yes. I was talking about tech sales. Oh, okay. I was talking about technical
roles.
careers.
Yes.
That's what I was talking about. So I was
We
talking
got
about
it.
non-technical careers in tech. And so my journey into tech looked different from like the typical, engineering. Like I was able to still hit six figures and be a successful professional in these non-technical roles. So I think continuing on the advice I was mentioning, right? Like there is a lane for everyone in this industry. You just have to find your lane and you have to tune out like the outside noise. Like you mentioned, like people are going to be saying, there's been layoffs. Like I've been laid off, right? But that doesn't discourage me from like getting into tech, and now, I'm in another like non-technical role doing events, right? Doing community work, right? So there's always an avenue for you to go. You just have to find like your niche and your lane.
Yeah. And I'll say one thing about the 6-figure thing. If anybody is working a 6-figure job and you want to start a company and it's in a product space, products don't make a lot of money right away. Unless you had a very big audience to give it to right away.
Right.
So just know, we're not making 6 figures right now.
Right.
I didn't give that.
Like, yeah,
we're talking about what we have made, what we were doing.
That's the past tense. So letting y'all know that sacrifices are being made for the greater good of something. Like this journey is very risky, and I'm kind of on this like almost like don't do full-time entrepreneurship tour right now because it really is a lot. Like I always tell people, if you really want to do this, you really have to be like emotionally intact. You need to be you have to be a very risky person. Like you can take on risk. Because if you can't take on risk well, it's going to overwhelm the hell out of you to the point that you will lose yourself in the process. So one thing I'll say for anybody who might consider leaving a 6-figure job and then pursuing entrepreneurship full time, have money saved. We're talking like 6 to 12 months worth of funds.
Yeah.
I would say have a clearer path to what those 12 months would look like, because when I did my first year wasn't even about putting out like an actual profitable product. I just felt like the job that I was in was conflicting with where I was trying to go with HuCapital because it was taking a lot of my time. People will tell you have your 9 to 5 for your job and your 5 to 10 for your business. And that's cap, because when you're a product person, depending on where you work, everybody needs you. Right. So during your 9 to 5, you're in meetings all day. After 5, you're doing your actual tasks. And if I'm doing my actual job tasks from 5 to 8, where's HuCapital in that space? Not just in terms of events, but the evolution that I'm preparing for. So let's put all that out there as things to think about when you're making a transition.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely think like the sacrifice you made the first time around, like we would not be where we are today without that. And then like my like second going like around like earlier this year, like going full time, right? I feel like it really helped us like take our events to the next level, right? Even from like
that's why y'all able to stay up late and chit chat across the room.
Oh yeah.
The issue was we were still up late when we had the jobs too, though. But now it's getting older. Yeah, listen.
We're really
one day sleep will be a priority because we getting older.
Right.
I need to sleep more. Yeah.
And I think the most important thing is don't try to do it alone. I think a lot of people think, I just have this idea, like I want to do this. Like you cannot do everything yourself. And I think another thing that works so well for us is that we have each other to lean on through all the highs, through all the tears.
Yep.
Right? Through like
I've shed some tears. I'm not even a crier like that. I've cried.
Through everything. Because I feel like it gets to a point where it's like, God, do you think I'm not like made for this? Like I'm trying to show you I can do, because like things will just keep happening. Like
for me, I think those things are super. Everybody goes through it differently and experiencing it. So when it happens and I face it, I'm like, oh, okay, I had to go through this right now. So
100%.
Then when a bigger bag comes or a better opportunity, this small shit that seems like it's the most important thing right now,
matter no more.
Not even matter, but it already trained my mind to know how to maneuver. And like, I done seen this already.
Yes, exactly.
Rather than exploding and going crazy or whatever, now I'm like, all right, bet. This meant that the goal that I'm trying to obtain is getting closer because I done failed at this shit. That mean that I know how to do this thing a little better now, and then I can amplify that.
Come on now.
Feeling forward.
Right, exactly. We're in the no gatekeeping space.
Okay.
We already was, we got a, they was like, yo, how long you gonna talk
Yeah,
for? We was like, yo,
you got like an hour.
That time.
But what we want to get into is the actual source, right? Like the not necessarily trade secrets. You don't gotta tell us like, all right, this is how we pay. But give the people who are intrigued and after hearing all of the things that y'all brought up, like, yo, how? Give us some steps, whether that's in regards to building a team.
Yeah.
Granted, y'all guys are the magnets that attract people, but are there any other ways in which you could say that? I'm gonna just go through a couple things, and then that way we could just talk about that. We can talk about y'all brought up how COVID in and of itself gave y'all different kind of tech skills in regards to running Zooms and panels and breakout rooms, right? Like those virtual are words party to some people, right? What does that mean?
What's a virtual?
Yeah, I would. I think one of the first things that I would say is like lean into whatever is kind of coming your way, like calling you. Like I think one of the things about my journey as to why I got to where I am is I've always been open to opportunity. Like I mentioned, I went to school for marketing. I thought I was going to get into digital marketing. That didn't happen. I was presented with this tech sales job and I was like, it's paying $45K. I need a job. I was making $9.75. I'm going to do it. And then that one decision turned into a bunch of other decisions that got me to like where I am today. And I think that's true for me, like personally. And I think that can also be said professionally, right? So when we think about the pivot of the rebrand of HuCapital, right? We spend a lot of time, and even with our events, we spend a lot of time listening to what our audience is saying, what our community wants, like feedback, what would you like to see? And even if it wasn't the idea that we had in mind or thought we were going to do, we listened to that, right? Because we are doing this like for the community, and that has now turned into what HuCapital is today. Because like I mentioned, it was just events. So I think one of the sources is, right, like be open to kind of pivoting and like shifting, because what you start with is 9 times out of 10 not going to be what you, what you end with. And there are going to be people along your journey that are going to influence, the different things that you do. And I think it's just important to be open to that.
Yeah. I'm gonna give some key about like tactics and secret sauces.
Yeah,
I'm gonna respond to that real quick.
Programs. I know you brought up a few of them.
Yeah, I have like 3 different answers for you. I'll make them brief though. But to respond to that one really quickly, listening. There's listening to like feedback about your company, but the way you get ideas and how to operate your actual business, right? You better be listening to what people are saying about your competitors, or people are just saying in general about other businesses. Like it's social listening, right? Like even like social media. Social listening is this concept of reading comments and seeing what people are saying about different kinds of things that are going on. If you come on now. So if you're paying attention to what people are saying about other businesses, you should be asking yourself, do I want that being said about me?
Right.
Like, cause we came across some things and we're like, yo,
so how can I not do what is happening right
here? So
here?
listen not only to your personal event feedback, listen to feedback that's being given about other events that you are probably in a similar space as. Now, tactics. First things first. Let's talk about marketing. Woo! Our internal theme. I am screaming, but I get a little excited about this.
Yeah, come on.
Our internal theme at HuCapital, and we are actually trying to grow out of this stage, but we call it, when you are starting a company, sometimes you have to do the unscalable thing first. He mentioned the word automation. Automation is very crucial to the growth and scale of your business. But depending on what you're trying to achieve in the beginning, sometimes all those tools are not available, and there are some things that you just have to do manually. When people come to our events and they say, who the hell are all these people? From the very beginning of time, we started growing out our attendee base by DMing 1 million people, like strangers. Like you feel weird. Go ahead.
I'm talking. Instagram says you cannot send any more messages right now. Like LinkedIn, you are on timeout. Like that is what we mean by unscalable marketing. Because the thing is too, I think it's in a perfect world, yes, post a flyer, everybody wants to come. But when you're starting out, 1, nobody knows who you are. And 2, even though people see things, there's this thing where people want to feel personally invited. You will see me post a flyer. You might not buy a ticket, but because I DM'd you like, hey Dre, I want to personally invite you. Now you kind of feel like, damn, Magic actually hit me up personally. Mind you, it's copy paste, but you know, I hit you up personally, and now I feel like I have to come. So I think doing that kind of puts something on people where they feel like they kind of like have to show up, and that is truly how we grew a lot of our events in the beginning.
Now, I don't know who's going to watch this interview. But I'm just going to go ahead and say it. We just told y'all that we DM'd a bunch of people. We're talking about giving secret sauces. I'm going to be explicit with y'all. Like, we're talking about if there's anybody in New York City doing a similar event as us out, like I said, we think we do very unique things at our events, and we're told that we do. So we know we're different. But if anybody's similar, well, look to see who's following their page and DM them.
Listen, every
like we have
everybody
get it. Systems out here 100%.
Ego and how I look is out the window. I don't care if we've never even met in person.
I'm DMing you.
It's me.
It's
Kim Kardashian jumping out the bush.
Like literally, like everybody's getting a hit up because my thing is, if you are following another like networking event page, I have to assume at minimum, you're following it because you just like the concept of networking and you actually go to events. Yeah. I don't have to sit here and convince you why going to a networking event is important because you care about that. It's about coming to my event that I have to convince you. That's half the work that's already done versus going to random people and saying, so here's why network's important. Here's why you should go to networking events. Here's why you should come to mine. I don't have to do all of that. All I have to prove to you as someone who cares about networking is you're just going to come to mine. And then here's why. So 1, DM strangers. Try to find or make sense out of a population of people that seem like they already care about that subject. And then DM them by finding people's pages. DM the people on LinkedIn who talk about events. Let them know that you're having events too. Like that's how you hack the system. That's number 1. 2, back to automations. Let me tell you something. Your tech stack. Whether you are a tech company or not, you need to have a tech stack. A tech stack just basically means these are a set of technology or tech tools that you are using to keep your business operating. Let's say, for example, if you're thinking about operations, right? There is a tool that you need to communicate with your team through. There is a tool that you may need to balance out like your finances. Think like bookkeeping online. There's a tool that you may need to have your website on, to send out automated scheduling or post and responses and stuff like that. You need to section out how does your business operate. I need to communicate, I need to build, I need to do marketing, and you need to make a list of all the pieces of technology that you need to use for each area of business, because if you don't keep track of that, it's gonna get very messy. If I'm a podcaster, I need a website. Should I be using Squarespace, Webflow, etc.? That's my website tech stack. If I have to like communicate with my community who follows like my podcast and they're like in an intimate space.
Drop some actual names though. Like
so,
what do you
okay, so if we're talking about, let's say like your bookkeeping, let's say Intuit QuickBooks. If you're talking about communicating either with your team or with your community in an intimate space, no.
I started using Notion. No,
for communicating
like internally with your team.
Well, you can put it in documents. Well, okay, that's a little different. I'm explaining how that's different. But you're right. Yes, you do. But that's different because task-based.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I'm telling people I'm telling them what to do.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so I'm going to explain. So
like project management.
Right.
That's different. Exactly.
Okay,
different.
Yeah, that's more like a
regular comms. You are using Slack. You are using Discord. I really don't want to mention others because I just don't feel like anything's kind of like better than those two.
You can say like a group me, like
exactly right. Yeah, like I don't really want to say anything beyond those two because I just feel like it's not gonna give what it's supposed to. So for communication, for websites, Squarespace, Webflow, Wix.
Yeah.
I guess I'll stop at those two. If we're talking about marketing, there's a tool called ManyChat. If you ever love me some ManyChat.
Auto replies.
Listen.
And then if you set it up right, no matter what they say,
it will still go.
Them.
Yes, 100%. Because the more popular someone is, okay, I'm not that popular on the internet. I got like 8K followers. But like there are people who have 200K followers on the gram, and I know people judge them and say, oh, why they're not responding to me? But let's be realistic. That's
How
hard. Like it's genuinely
I can
hard.
barely
I don't have that problem.
with a few followers that I
There's that, right? Someone has 200K, 300 comments. They need help, and I hope people give them more grace for that. So tools like ManyChat exist so that you can do things like comment events, and it will send you the link. Because getting someone to just give you a link, that doesn't require a heartfelt response. Let me automate things like that. So you can use ManyChat. If you want to schedule posts, you can use Buffer. I'm going to stop at Buffer because I don't really trust the other ones like that. So, but I want to say names of things, but I like to say names of things that I'm okay with being held accountable for.
Right.
So, but I will be nice and say this Sprout Social. And if you want to look up more things, all the names that I'm saying, if you want to get an understanding of the most quality alternatives, quality is the word I'm using, just type in Google competitors to blank. Because if it brings up who the actual competitors are, those are probably the ones that are more similar and competitive because they have similar features, but maybe people are winning in some places or features than others. Right. So just do that so you can find more, but I just don't want you to kill me if you don't like a product. I'm going to stop there because I just think that it can just go forever. If you guys give me, project management. He mentioned about communicating through Notion. You absolutely can communicate through Notion as a project management tool, but you are communicating just in response to a task. Like you can assign a card that has a task and details laid out for you, and you are responding like, I got this done, etc., etc. Yes, you can definitely use Notion for that. But if you want like a really intimate hub where there's different channels of very different conversations taking place, Airtable's like a data. Because you know what it is? When you use project management tools to communicate, it's almost implying that for the growth of your business, you're only talking about just tasks.
Like tasking.
We have to dream. Right. Sometimes you can't dream always on call because people's meetings or the schedules are tight. You need a place to just communicate and have a conversation about just something happening in the business. So if you keep your comms in a project management tool, your comms will most likely be stifled because it's just task-based. That's very different.
Got you.
There is getting work done and there is strategy. There is romanticizing their business. There is, it's thinking about the future of the business, thinking about how to create a better operative system. Like you can use Notion today. Your team might say, I hate this shit. Right. And I want to go to ClickUp, another alternative for project management. You mentioned Airtable. People do project manage there. There's a tool called Asana that's also very popular. All things that I think are incredible. Exactly.
Trello, Monday.com.
Trello.
I use Trello and Slack.
And Trello I like because it's very simple. It doesn't have the full operation system that you need for everything, but it gets the job done.
Yeah,
come on.
And Trello can have a list of tasks to do. It can have a things of deliverables. It can have a thing. It can be ongoing things. It can have a thing of old things that you had. Like I use it inside of my school, so it's like. I get it.
And to even add on to that, right? Like you have release stacks, you have an event stack, right? So what ticketing platform are we using? Is it Eventbrite? Is it Luma? We've used so many different things in the past, but we've landed on Luma. Like that's kind of
Luma is
I love the AI.
The UI,
right? Like because Eventbrite, you kind of gotta. It doesn't give the same kind of lore.
Yeah,
right?
like Eventbrite definitely wins in the sense of the functionality and everything that you can do like on the back end.
Mm-hmm. They also the name of it is kind of
and they also have better reporting. I can definitely say that, but I feel like Luma is one very easy to use. It's very intuitive. I love that. I feel like things almost automatically update when you change something. Like you can even see it. Right. And again, it's sexy, right? Like the UI is super fun. It's creative.
I feel like it's a blend between Partyful and Eventbrite.
Yes. I would agree with that. Yes. I feel like aesthetically, yes, and then functionally is a different ballgame. Also, for those who are into tech, UX is like the actual physical functional experience of a product. UI is the way that it looks and how pretty it is.
Yeah.
One of the more important things is we have a tool called QMatch, which is like your AI matchmaking tool. So what it does is it connects you through the information that you submitted on the order form directly to people that share similar interests as you that you need to meet in the room. So that is just one more way that we are intentionally using AI, right, to create those relationships and really build that network. So if that is something that you are interested in, run to don't even walk, run to HuCapital. That's HuCapital.co/events. EVENTS and get your ticket today.
And the only thing I'll add is, if for whatever the reason is, you cannot make it to that event, when you get to that page at the bottom under the events, you can join our listserv. That way you know when the next event is, and it'll also allow you to get access to our product launch on February 1st. Or don't quote me, let's say the first week of February. Let's say that.
It's fire. I mean, Donnie, what you got?
We over here live at the crime scene.
No gatekeeping.
Oh
You don't
my
have to
god.
call.
Oh my god. Yo, I love it. Yo, we gonna have to clip. Anyway, everyone. Yo, I love y'all. Yo, thank you, HuCapital, for coming. Clap it up. I love you guys.
Let's give it Nori great chance. Yeah.
Yo, thank y'all, yo.
This is fire.